Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Movies and Models. I'm your boy KP, as usual. Wow, we got my guy B More in the building. It's been a while. What's up, B?
We took a few weeks off.
We took a couple.
I think we needed a little.
We gotta,
rest.
Gotta reset. You gotta reset.
Make sure y'all check out the previous episodes. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, do all those good things.
All of that, okay? All of that. Please do all of that. And joining us today, we got some amazing guests in the building. We got my home girl all the way from Mexico. Model, podcaster as well, red carpet killer, baddie extraordinaire. Roxy's in the building. What's up, Roxy?
Hi, how are you? Hey. How are you doing? Everybody getting like so nice, so friendly. We already did a tour, USA tour. We talked about all the states.
What?
We love Tennessee.
She's matching your energy today. She
actually Tennessee.
Love the energy
today.
today.
Detroit to LA at least. Somebody from Tennessee. And
land out there.
Also in the building is my guy, my homie, one of me and B Moore's closest homeboys, independent filmmaker, writer, producer, content creator. He been doing it before y'all been doing it. We got my guy Byron Manuel in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's good? Happy to be here again. Appreciate y'all.
What y'all been doing today?
Man, getting to it.
Okay.
But, this is a nice break in between.
Yeah, you gotta take. I mean, you got to at least to come talk a little bit, showcase. Yeah, man, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Right at the gate, just want to get some quick questions. We like to do little icebreakers. If y'all don't mind.
Of course. Bring it.
Brandon, I'm gonna start with you here. If you could live in any movie universe for a day, which one would it be and why?
Oh, me?
Movie
Brandon.
universe?
Movie universe. There's a lot of universes.
Ooh, I know which one.
Call we big on movie stuff here.
It's so many, but
so many.
For this time, ask me again next week.
Okay.
I'll give you a different every week.
Okay.
Back to the Future.
Okay.
Because then I can time travel.
Solid.
Look at you.
Solid.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Roxy?
Can I pick two?
Yeah.
Okay, I will do Men in Black and Matrix.
Really?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good ones.
Okay.
I like to go to other dimensions and see what is
figure
truly
it out.
happening.
I'm not trying to rock out in the Matrix universe.
I'm trying to figure out
sorry.
who is real and who is the
Really going on.
The way they was living in that was sad as shit. I'm straight.
Yeah.
Keep me in a simulator. I'm good. I'm not rocking down here with y'all. Eating whatever they got. Pudding,
living under the city.
True.
You know what I mean? They tripping. What you
I
got?
don't
B?
know too much. Man, put me in something, put me in one of them gangster movies, Scarface or something.
Ooh.
Something bank robbery.
Like the Godfather, because I feel like it got to be like a franchise.
Yeah, put me in something that I'm getting to it like that.
You want to be in that?
Yeah, I'm just getting it.
It's
when you think about
it's so
those
dangerous
times,
though.
Yeah.
When you think about
like the
those
Power
times,
Universe,
man. Yeah, when you think about those older times, those like no cameras around, like
Okay.
police. you
Only
can
a
pay
little
them.
friend.
Okay.
Was it?
Yeah,
Only a
it's
little
like
friend? Was it
if you got
crazy?
enough power on you, you doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where you want to.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
I'll tell you where I wouldn't go is like Marvel and like DC, bro. Like something happening to them people.
Everybody dying.
Innocent
Chicago.
bystander all the
It's always a
time.
superhero.
Unless you're a superhero.
Unless you a
unless you're a
superhero, but
superhero.
man,
But
So
even
what's yours?
damn, yo. Ain't that crazy?
I'm gonna ask the question
and
now.
then I never have the
If
answer.
you're thinking about himself, that's a real gentleman.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna take whatever Patrick pick I feel like it's gonna be.
Just kidding.
Who framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh,
That's
that's
funny.
good.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the world.
All right.
Animated.
We do love Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah, it's all about
I'm not mad
Jessica.
at that.
Yeah.
Star Trek and Roger Rabbit.
I'm not mad
Jessica
at that.
and Jordan.
Oh, I just had this one too. Hold on, me, my bad, y'all. It's,
No cheating.
B, would you rather have to sing everything you say for a day or dance every time you walk for a day?
Where you get these?
You know?
I'm gonna say sing everything you say.
It's like a musical.
Yeah,
Just a musical.
I feel like dancing like that. You gonna get
You
gonna
walking
get worn
a
out.
lot.
Some
You gonna get
tired.
worn out.
But you can Omarion touch all day. You can, yeah. What you gonna, Rox, what you gonna do?
I dance. All the way.
Can you
I
dance?
love singing, but I can dance. Yeah, of course. I'm Latina. I can dance.
I don't.
I
done
can
seen
shake it. I can
She's
move. I
I done seen you be surprised now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's straight from the source though, so
That might
like-
be.
she definitely,
Yeah, that
she
might-
definitely got it.
Touche.
You
You're right.
definitely got it.
Touche.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sing it out.
Sing it
I'm gonna
out.
Sing it out.
Do you like musicals?
Nope.
No,
Not at all.
we'll circle back to
But it's the
this.
fatigue thing. I'm
Okay.
like, you know,
We will circle
Good.
back
I move.
to that.
I mean, that's an exercise
Um,
too with the breathing.
Byron, World's Ending. What's the last movie you watching? World's Ending.
Oh, the world's ending. The last movie I'm watching. Man, it's got to be some sort of comedy.
Okay.
Some sort of comedy. I don't know which one, but it's got to be probably the first comedy I could find.
Whatever.
Yeah, something funny though. I just want to laugh it out.
Okay.
If
Most
we
people
done,
kinda
I just
get
gotta
that.
laugh it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rox.
Like a movie about the world ending.
No, the world is ending. What's a movie that you would turn on like? This is
Oh,
gonna be
comedy. Yeah, it has to be comedy. Like something ridiculous.
Well, give me
Which
one.
one?
Oh, what about like Pineapple Express or like
Okay.
like the one with the kids, the young kids that try to buy alcohol and then they
Super
Oh,
bad.
Super bad. Oh my god.
Superbad is good.
And what's the ID name? Remember the name that he used, the fake name?
Yeah. Damn. What was his name?
It was like a famous name. It was like so obvious.
Oh, you talking about
the
the,
kid. He
the
named
kids
himself.
that he tried
On his
to.
fake ID.
He had the fake ID,
Oh,
and the name
McLovin.
was
McLovin.
McLovin. Yeah,
Mick
I would totally want to
McLovin.
see McLovin in action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I might go Don't Be a Menace, actually.
Okay.
South Central White Drinking Juice.
Yeah. You
Wait,
gotta say the whole
Oh,
thing.
okay.
You gotta say the
Yeah,
whole
yeah,
thing sometimes. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
because the regular don't be a
Yeah,
menace
yeah,
to
yeah.
menace to a side.
Minister say yeah. But yeah.
Don't Be
Yeah.
a Menace to Wayne Brothers.
If you could have dinner with any fictional character, who would it be?
Ooh, a fictional character?
Hmm.
Man, who I want to sit down
Too many
with?
hotties.
I'm trying where I can get some real game from. Maybe what was that movie? Don't Look Up. The dude when Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
had figured all this shit out.
So you want to sit with him?
Yeah, I'm
Leo's
like sit with him
character
and be
now.
like, man, what's going on?
Yeah.
What you figure out?
Yeah, I thought you was gonna say like Denzel in like American Gangster,
I was thinking that. I'm not gonna
or
lie.
even Denzel in
Not
his
gonna
new
lie.
Spike Lee
Right.
movie because
I was thinking
we
that.
was talking gangster stuff earlier. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you probably want to sit down with like I don't know, one of them characters from one of them gangster movies.
Nah,
With the
I
bangs.
think I
You
wanna
need to
figure
learn how to
something
run a crime organization or
He
something.
wanted to live in that universe.
Well, I need to
Yes,
sit down with
Trey.
Frank Lucas for it.
That's what he wanted to do.
I'm from Mexico. I
picked
can
that.
help you
How
with
do
that.
you avoid getting
Yeah.
how to avoid getting caught by the feds?
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. That he picked that movie franchise to be in.
I see a lot of Leo movies because Catch Me
Oh,
If You
yeah,
Can
he's
would have been
good.
cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He was playing
Yep.
Frank Abagnale or whatever.
He's amazing.
Yeah,
That was great.
He got a couple. Even Wolf of Wall Street.
Phenomenal.
Wolf of
Yeah,
Wall Street.
I could've said
Inception.
that one.
I would
Yes.
sit. I would sit with. I would sit
Yeah.
with Leo on for Wall Street. That
Yeah.
would be him and Jonah from that would be
Yeah.
crazy.
Gotta
Roxy,
get you some
what about
Quaaludes.
you?
I mean, I'm definitely Leo from the
Wolf of Wall Street.
yes,
Uh-huh,
that's
uh-huh.
and the guy, the psycho guy from America, the guy that was a killer,
Oh, an American Psycho.
American Psycho.
American Psycho.
Oh yeah, what's his
Why?
name?
Wait, Christian.
I would like
Christian,
to,
yeah,
well, I would like to figure out what is
Yeah,
in his
Christian.
head, like how he turned so evil.
Yeah,
You would be his next target, probably.
Wait, what's American?
She's talking to him behind the glass like
Like-
he's Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the guy, remember the
It's all in his mind at the end.
like this
okay.
story, like Judy Foster when she
story.
did the interview, the killer, and like it would be like something like that where you try to get in the killer.
So you would sit down with Hannibal Lecter and powwow with him.
Yes.
From tripping.
I'll be like, how
That's
you
the
trying
audience
to?
for people that be watching
But you know,
that
but
show.
they're actually like usually psychos like serial killers. They tend to
Super
be
smart.
extremely smart.
Yeah.
It gotta be like it's just they use it in the wrong way. But I mean, they're very like highly.
Oh, you be listening to the murder podcast.
Latina.
You on the murder
Watch out for
podcast.
Latina with the
Lord
green
have
eyes.
mercy. Well,
Murder-
here at Movies and Models, as y'all know, we are big on TV and film, everything under the sun when it comes to that. Well, 2 questions. When the last time you've been to the theater? What's the last movie you've seen in theaters? And what's your favorite genre? Byron, come on, you kick it off first.
I'll go. I saw Sinners.
Okay.
Sinners was fire, hands down, one of the best movies I've seen. And then you said the other one was
What's your favorite genre?
Favorite genre.
favorite genre? Man, that's tough. That's tough because it just depends on the mood. But I definitely like something psychological.
Okay.
Any psychological thriller, drama, crime, something.
I want
where
to
you
circle
gotta
back to
think.
that
Yeah, something you
about
gotta
black
think
people
about.
and those selections. I'm gonna get back to you on this. Roxy.
The genre I like the like the complicated movies from like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, they have similar movies sometimes, which is like very like they crazy, but like like the
Once Upon a
Fight
Time in
Club,
Hollywood?
like things like that.
Yeah.
You know, like the Fight Club, I didn't realize it was like the same person until I was like, what? It was two people. I took me time to realize
So you
like
be watching some shit.
like that, like
I'm
like those
shocked.
kind of
She been
movies.
I know. That's what
a bunch of stuff.
I'm shocked.
Well versed in
and
your
I-
cinema.
Yeah.
Which I'm surprised, Roxy. I ain't gonna lie
And
to
I
you.
know the names in Spanish, so it's like I'm like, wait, remember how they call it in English?
Right, especially being like an English second language.
Absolutely. I'm like, she ain't been watching nothing but
Watching
Naruto.
Like
Naruto.
and Red Magazine.
Naruto.
No, right, yeah, exactly. Oh, I know there's a
You can watch the novellas.
I can name some operas too.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So what's the last movie you saw in theaters?
You know, it wasn't long ago, and I was trying to remember. I'm like, what is wrong with me? What was the last few releases?
So much.
I know. See, it was after seniors.
And you go by
It was like
you
a
go to
few
a movie by
weeks
yourself?
Oh, a few
Oh,
weeks
you
ago.
you've been recently. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, like it just went like a
what was the
week
thing
or
that
2
just
weeks
came out?
ago, and it just
Lilo
came
and
out.
Stitch,
No,
Mission
Lilo.
Impossible.
The one before Mission Impossible.
After Sinners. What came out after Sinners?
In
But
between,
it was
yeah.
that,
Thunderbolts, Marvel.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts.
You saw Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah. I like all the
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like all the.
Wow.
Oh,
I was
did.
expecting that.
I know you. Did you?
Nah, I didn't see it yet.
I know all the Marvel. I mean, I've seen all of them. I go in order, like chronological.
You
order.
saw it?
Of course.
I
You
prepare
saw it?
She
myself.
might know more than you. I didn't see Thunderbolts.
Okay, I didn't see it yet.
She says you know
was
all the
fire?
Marvel movies
It was
chronologically.
solid.
What?
Solid. It was. It was one of his better ones in after like in this phase. For
Yeah.
him.
It's
Okay,
just,
fine.
you know, it's hard to. They have so many good ones that sometimes it's just hard to beat the really good ones. You know, like it's hard to like replicate that.
For sure, for
success,
sure.
You know, like, but the fact that he came with something like this good,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
No,
you
that's a
know?
fact.
Look at that. Brandon won't see it. He don't like it.
You don't like
It's
it?
certain
You want to
Marvel-
wait to Disney
It's certain
Plus.
Marvel movies
To
because
finish.
On Disney.
I bet you.
hey, I'm tough. I'm tough to please in the theater. For you to get my $20 and then if I take my family
20 might be a
And
discount.
more, yeah.
Yeah.
Now
They
it's
got
$30.
discounts now. They starting to get. They starting
They
to.
started.
I
got
will,
the AMC pass.
and I'm subscribed to Disney Plus. Well, I got somebody else to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
I
They about-
do
they
They about to
too.
see this and cut you right on off.
certain
Gotta deal with
certain
that.
movies I'm gonna wait for Disney Plus unless I know that it's gonna be worth
Like,
my time and my energy. To
what
go
is
already
see
paying
it.
for Disney.
What is your top Marvel movie? Like, let's see what level we're talking about.
Endgame. That's the top one. Endgame.
That's your favorite one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
one. I mean, it's hard to beat
Now
that.
we gotta ask you what's your favorite Marvel movie too. You don't seem like you care about superhero stuff that much.
No, I do. But
Only Godfather.
they all kind of
Oh
sitting
wow.
in the same. They all was kind of like good
Close
to
to
me.
each
But I think I was more attracted to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie.
The originals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Iron Man was
Okay,
good
we
too.
can- you know,
Iron Man is a
That's
good
when I was
series.
really like, oh, this is hard.
Well, let me ask you this. I want to circling back. Thrillers, dramas seem to be a huge love of our people. We love drama. We love thriller. Why do you think that is for us? I was
Man.
talking to somebody about this the other day because we was on Tubi and we were searching through a few different things. And she was like, I seen this and this and this and this. And she was just rambling, picking a bunch of different stuff. I'm like, damn, these are all like hardcore, sad ass, abusive drug joint. You know what I mean? Like that. And she was like, I just love them. I love them. I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's a good question, though.
Why?
I like, well, for one, it's two different things for me. The psychological thrillers, I just like the complexities of the worlds that these characters are in and what they got to go through. And then whatever the twist is that makes you go, ooh, I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
That's usually entertaining, interesting, stimulating. The dramas, I don't know what the affinity is there, but I think that's because that's all we really had a opportunity to have.
Okay.
So that we're flooded with that, then we get used to it, programmed to it, and then we're kind of watching those. If you had more specifically in the question of Black people in different sci-fi killing it, documentary killing it. If we were in other spaces, that probably wouldn't be the most popular.
Why do you think we aren't, or why do you think as independent creators now, because everybody's independently creating their own features, series, etc. Why do you think we don't tend to step into those realms so we can switch gears and go to different stuff?
Exactly. Well, for one, I think we just got here as far as being Black creatives. Like you've got that Spike Lee, Anton Fuqua, F. Gary Gray generation, Tim Story.
Okay, you say Tim Story, right? You know about Tim.
They haven't been here that long. They like that. These dudes are still here, like still making stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So our generation is damn near like third generation, second. We might even be second generation right now. Really, second generation creatives. So we haven't even had the opportunity to tell that many stories because Hollywood had the gate closed on that. They haven't been telling our stories. So for us as independent creators, we finally get in the game, get an opportunity to go, all right, cool. I love these other things. I want to do these other things. Those other things generally cost a little bit more money.
Yeah, they do.
So now you coming out the gate like, all right, I want to make something, but this might not be the dream thing I want to make. But for one, you got to make stuff to get better anyway. Mm-hmm. So we got to make something. Then we keep seeing the success from these things because there's an audience already there for it. So now we're like, all right, cool. If we want to turn this into a bag, this is probably going to be the lane because it doesn't cost that much to make. We can get it done in a 10 to 16 day shoot for a little bit of nothing, get it out, and it's probably going to make some money because it's the most consumable in demand piece of content right now.
It's in demand. That's what people like. We can't help what the consumers like.
Exactly.
They like drama.
Yeah.
You feel me? They like thrillers. We like it. We all say we like them.
We like them.
We do.
For sure.
But we I watched one last night called Drop.
It's because it's relatable. It's
white.
exciting.
It's white. It was in theaters. Drop. They was on a date. White girl going on a date with this dude, and it's high up in this restaurant.
Oh snap! I did see that.
Yeah, you know
the
what I
preview
mean?
for it.
Yeah, I'm like, this was good. Just like that airplane one was really good.
That looked good.
What was the name of that airplane thriller? You watched it
recently?
It was recently on Netflix when Jason Bateman was the villain, and my man from Kingsman was
yeah. I seen that. Baggage trailer for that.
I was about to say Baggage Claim. It wasn't that trash.
We like it because it's exciting, and a lot of them are relatable scenarios, and then so that's what
I feel like. Sure. Like culture-wise, like if you think about some cultures like Latinos, Black culture and all this culture, we're like a lot of spicy, a lot of emotion, a lot of expression. So I feel like when you watch this movie, you truly feel the pain, like you truly feel the emotion. You go into and you live it.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times the reason why, like Coco, for example, the Mexican director, like it's colorful, it's cultural.
The animated Coco? I love Coco.
Yeah, it's cultural. Like I feel like it's like the movies done by specific groups are usually will express some of that emotions. I feel like some of the cultures are not expressive, so they create things that are more dry. But then cultures that are more emotion, more expressive, then will give it a lot of flavor, and they will make you feel it and die for it. You're like, oh, I'm crying now. Why? I feel like part of the reason why we consume that is because it gives you it plays with our emotions. It's like, whoa, like push and pull. People we like to feel it. Like you go to the movies to live it. Like it's the reason why it's a big screen and the sound is a specific way, so you can feel it in your heart. And then you're like, you know what? This is you cry, and even though it's fake.
What's the last movie you cried on?
Oh my God!
I cry on I am terrible, yo.
I know.
I will cry on happy shit,
cry.
sad shit.
When it made me cry, I went. Okay, so I went to Philly and I went to the American Revolution Museum, and they show you the Scream, the intro, 10 minutes video documentary, and it made me cry because once I realized like the harsh of history and how humanity had to go through, so stuff like that made me cry. Like when I see history and I see
Real
what
stuff.
each
The real.
culture had to go through, and all I keep like when I went to the Reagan, they used to have at the time the the time with Hitler and all that, and they show documentaries and all that. I was crying. I'm like, this is horrible. So I feel like anything that has to do with some type of war, humanity crisis, or something that culture went through, it hurt.
Yeah.
Like I feel the pain. It's like why these things happen. Those are the things that made me cry.
Those historical tragedies.
Yeah. So when I went to the museum,
that's real.
It's too real.
Yeah,
When I
you
went
like
to
real
the
people.
real
People went through this,
Right.
suffered,
They
and
got photos of
real
it.
slavery, real like fighting for your rights, real all these things.
You're like,
And
this
it-
person kind of looked like me.
Damn. Yeah.
And so when I saw it, I was like, tell me the commentary. I was like crying. I'm like, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
What's the last movie you cried on?
I can't remember, but I know every now and then. What almost got me was it's not
It's getting you
it's
right
not
now.
Fallout. It was
Fallout was good. Serious?
nah, it was Paradise. When there was a scene where one of the main dudes, Sterling K, hit his. They like kidnapped his daughter, and they was
oh, the Paradise, the series.
and they was like
Yeah,
holding
I think
her for
that
ransom or
got
something
that
like
got.
that. I was kind of like, anything with kids.
Paradise
like,
is
we're
crazy.
trying
Oh
to
yeah,
get,
it's
like,
harsh.
man, why you gotta do that?
You gotta
Daughter
watch
like
that, KP.
Yeah.
Paradise is cold.
I got
You're gonna make you cry.
That is
It's one of
emotional. It's
those.
emotional for sure.
I'm soft, yo, because I get too immersed into the shit.
Yeah, for sure.
For me,
That's-
like I watch and I'm like,
That's what they say. Like,
I feel that. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I feel
You're
your
absorbing the
joy.
emotion.
Like Pursuit of Happiness. Like I cry on that every time at the end. I'm like, bro, we just watched you struggle.
Yeah.
And you
through
hate
this
the
whole
guy. You're like, I
shit,
hate
You
you.
know what I mean? I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy that you happy. And now I know you about to be good.
We got this win together.
Yeah, we got this- I'm sitting on this shit, bro. No, but you made it, baby. You made it.
Erase it.
Yeah, I can do
I'm
it
next.
too. Yeah,
You know
I'm
what was
next
so
up.
harsh? The one with Will Smith, where he's a father and
That's
they
what you
had
talking about.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Pursuit
the
of
one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
happiness.
yeah.
That's
That's
it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's tough.
that did
like,
it. That
stop
did
it.
it.
No.
Will Smith to break you down. Will
Every
Smith
time.
break you
Every
down.
time.
Every time.
Every time
He going
he's
for it every
good.
time.
And the scary movie that he did too, that was scary.
Yeah.
Oh, I Am Legend.
Yeah, that was
I Am
scary.
Legend.
Even though
Part
you
two
didn't
comes
really
soon.
see much, but
Legend was dope.
I was like, yeah, crazy.
I was just also impressed about the fitness. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
damn,
You're like,
he's the best food.
He still can do it.
Oh,
He still can
Look,
do
you
it.
guys have like great genetics.
man, I'm
B,
like,
what went on today? Like, we normally go into Hollywood hot seat. You know, we talk about different things that you know are going on entertainment wise. I already know what really happened this week. Besides, I know one of the biggest things I think we can kind of touch base on is, the fandom of streaming. Streamers University was a big ordeal.
That's a good one to dive into,
That was
especially since like we kind of come from the world of like social media and content
Yeah.
creators.
yeah.
Just what do you guys think about the whole new revolution of like where influencers have like now taken off into this whole streaming world and like the impact that someone like Kai Cenat and even the new and upcoming streamers have now?
I feel like it's a great tool for the new generations because it's a lot of creativity.
Yeah.
And in the past, you would have the whole production. Now all you need is your iPhone, and then you put it on YouTube, you put it here, you can create your own channel. I feel like it's a tool that they give you that you can use any way you want. You can create anything you want. You can use it for good, for bad. I would say the only thing that I'm like a little bit like annoyed is this censorship. I feel like it's still a lot of censorship, and it's sometimes unfair when they take down channels or profiles or things like that.
Oh yeah, for
I,
sure.
I,
People
I
get
feel
biased.
like
I know
I
a
feel
lot of
like
people
the
like
I
that.
feel like the creator should have some level of freedom where they don't have to be afraid. As long as you're not,
Oh, for
making
sure.
wanting people do bad stuff. But
yeah.
like the creator, it's a free mind.
Mm-hmm.
You should let that person to create what it comes. It's like a paint. Like it should be no rules about how you paint, what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You should do you know, how you feel. It comes from the soul. It comes from the mind. You know, you put the soul, the mind together, and you create
I think
something.
that's where there's like the opportunity to like pull people off of their platforms and put them on your own platforms and like have like another like private community.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, y'all know I can't say everything that I want to say on YouTube or on IG, but come over here to where I'm building my own platform, and then we could talk. We could talk about whatever.
I'm also not. I'm not too bothered by the censorship. The part about that is that if you get taken down, there's nobody to communicate with to get back up.
Absolutely.
No customer service.
Sure. That's the word.
If you want to take me down, at least give me a call.
Who's running this thing?
Yeah, like
I know.
Who do I
Like,
talk to?
It's
get
like
my
if something
cat?
happens to anything on your social media platforms,
You
it's
lose
over.
everything.
It's like a
It's
mystery on like why I even got stricken down and how do I
Like,
get
how
it back
can
up?
I get it back? Yeah.
It's like I didn't even do this.
Yep.
You sent me a thing that said I didn't
You know
even do
what?
this.
Yeah.
What I think it happened with this thing is I feel like it will happen to India and China. It's like suddenly they create something and it populates so quick, so fast that they didn't have time to create systems
Basically.
to that. So what happened to India and China? Like now, like, oh, what we do with that billion people?
Yeah.
Like this
They're
same
being
way.
cheap on the customer
Social
service.
Yeah,
media.
they're being
you
cheap.
too.
They try to give you the automated AI, but I don't want to talk to this. I need to talk to somebody.
Let me get the human.
You're
Why did
never
you do
gonna
this?
get
Let me
it.
get the
You
human.
have to be on, people on certain levels or whatnot. When you got those contacts, then it's a little
Yeah,
bit
you got to be
easier.
up there.
It's good
Yeah,
business to be a hacker these days.
Yeah.
I know
They
one of the
fix
things.
everything.
I know one of the things for streamers that I heard with Kai. He turned down major platforms. Turned down HBO. Turned down Netflix.
Netflix, yeah.
Turned down. They all wanted a piece.
Netflix wanted to host his
That's
thing.
hard.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
They said, nah.
crazy.
That's hard.
If you
To turn down
the fact that
something
you
like
can
that?
get to the point,
That's gangster.
the fact that you
know
can
that.
get to the point where
Yeah.
you can turn down like, oh, Netflix hosting my stream.
Yeah.
Like,
I would love to
nah,
turn
I'ma
down
just
$5
host,
million.
I'll host it myself.
Yeah, I would love to
Can you
turn down
imagine?
10 million.
So basically, what he's saying is, whatever bag y'all think y'all can pay me, it's not gonna be enough for what I'm about to get.
That's a mindset thing too, to be like, you know what, I'm betting on myself, and that I'm gonna build this thing out to where like you know what I'm saying, where I want to,
Where you get the
I want to
truth.
keep all of this on my platform, because I want to build a platform that can compete with your platform.
Which is what you about to do.
Also, got to remember too, as soon as you take money from somebody, they got some say.
Yeah.
It don't matter
And
who
they
it
get
is.
to tell you what to do and
Yeah,
censor
you
you.
take some money from somebody, they like, and let's do it like, and then,
You know what'd be great if instead of you having that person there, why don't we bring in one of
let's
our
get some
people?
of these.
Look what
people.
happened
There's
to
too many black people. Like, why don't we bring just a couple? Because they complaining about that. They was
look what
complaining
happened
they had
to
too
Taylor
many black-
Swift.
Yeah.
She's still going.
You know, like no, but she's good now. But she has to go to battle. Why? Because at the time she was a small artist, and they made her sign
Oh,
something
yeah, her deal.
completely unfair.
okay.
And now she can use that music anymore. But she came from that crisis to build her own platform,
thing.
her own music, her own. You know, like she doesn't need those anymore, even though they're some of their classic. But that's what you guys say. You know, like when you sell sometimes when you sign with some of these big companies.
Yeah.
You have to be careful what you
us
sign
something
in
else.
because they will
do y'all
take
think-
everything they can.
Do y'all think big companies are afraid of streamers now? Because essentially, they don't need, like, the streamers don't need them.
Afraid.
I wouldn't say afraid.
They don't need them.
I feel like they know they have to come with a plan how we can make business with them, but they still feel like they're winning, but we can still take a piece of it. I think right now for them it's more like a business view. It's like, okay, now we have this is kind of competition, but you want your enemy with you. You want your enemy close to you. So like how I can create something that is streamer where we're like, okay, I'm still independent. It's still my business, but I can still work with you. And
You sign them.
you know
how we
I feel
talk
like they
about,
had to just
how we talk about a lot how like streamers are the new rappers, or they're the new like celebrity, like kids aspire to be that now, like how we used to be kids, we used to aspire to be athletes and rappers and whatever, like and actors. Kids no longer aspire to be actors and rappers and on that level. They aspire to be streamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Streamers are, so it's the next step is for the big company is to sign them to a label deal.
Oh, for sure.
Create your own streamers.
Yeah, you definitely want, because it's all business at the end of the day. You've got these
absolutely.
conglomerates that have been creating and doing things for generations before we was even here. So they're, soon as they see it, they know, okay, how do we get a monopoly on this? So if we stay in the position of you can't get a monopoly on this, that's some different power.
But I feel like it's all about value. Like it depends what value they offer you and what value you offer to them. If the value is equal, then it's a good deal. Then both can grow from it and make something bigger.
For sure, there's a situation.
But it's other situations where their value, it just doesn't match your value, and you're like, this is just not gonna work.
Yeah.
And you take the risk.
I was watching Birdman.
Great movie.
Talking to
You're like, what?
No, I was talking
Wait
about
a minute.
Cash Money Birdman.
Cash Money
I
Birdman.
was watching Birdman on Nick Cannon's pod. They did the interview, and Birdman was talking about the deal that he did. That was probably the most iconic record deal ever in the world. Where he was saying that he was making, at the time, he was making like $1 million a week or a month or something like that. But they was getting to it.
Okay.
17, 18, 19, 20 years old, they doing millions. So when they went into the labels to try to get the right deal, nobody wanted to give him the right deal. And eventually he was just like, well, fuck it, I'm out. I'm not doing no deals. And then they wouldn't let him leave the room and finally sign the deal that he wanted to sign. Because, it worked out in his favor and their favor to a degree, but they don't have no control over Cash Money or whatever that thing is doing. But that's also just one time Master P, maybe that's like two times.
Maybe man.
Because they're walking in with so much leverage already, because they've already built something, and now I'm walking in with like, look, we already built $1 million play.
Exactly.
Y'all really want in on this. So I think the next play is like, okay, someone like Kai Cenat, he's already built his own platform.
For sure.
But then it's like, okay, let's find who's the next person before they build it up and help them build it up. That way we have control and ownership and what and what they say and what they can do.
One of those platforms are going to figure out how to say, like, okay, we're going to have our own channel specifically for streamers. Netflix is going to sign a bunch of streamers and be like, oh, you think Kai big?
Put some marketing money.
Watch what we can do. Yeah.
Put, you know what I'm saying?
They can make them bigger.
Raise the production value of someone that's new.
They can.
Put the marketing behind someone new, and then raise them up, and then at the same time, find someone like Kai and give them the Birdman deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it was Blockbuster that turned down Netflix or one of those, right? Yeah, it was Blockbuster. And like, where is Blockbuster now?
Fucked up.
Nowhere. I mean, even though I used to go and just.
We all did, but they should have figured. They should have figured it out.
You know what it was like? Okay, I don't know if this is all to say, but like in the sex shops in the past, many years ago, it was like Blockbuster before you can access
the sex shop.
Oh yeah, like
you will have like CD, like DVDs and stuff like that.
They used to have it in Blockbuster too. Like it was like behind the curtain.
Before you have all these sexy streaming that now you can get for free online. You will have to go and actually buy a CD and like a Blockbuster. Oh, I used to have a bag full of those, and I drove. I was like, okay, I don't need to do that. They don't even make CDs anymore. But it was cool to have. Like I was like, because you never know. You didn't know you like it or not. Because you just see a photo, you're like, well, they look good.
I might want to watch this one.
So you used to go to Blockbuster, then go behind the curtain to the adults.
No, Hustler used to have that. Hustler used to have the video section.
Yeah, so Blockbuster never had that. So
no.
Video
Blockbuster.
City was too commercial. Used to go to.
Yeah, it was like PJ. Yeah. But I said it was like the same idea. Like you would go to Hustler and they had their little Blockbuster, but for that stuff.
You watched the whole. You watched the whole.
I
video?
watched.
I don't think I've ever watched an entire.
I couldn't make the whole video.
Different generation.
I couldn't make it the whole video.
I remember if I had the tape, I would get the booty call joint, but I'm
But
speeding through it to the moments.
But it will be parts where like, oh, this part is good, so I just gotta replay again for next time. I remember what minute was.
Okay, Roxy.
Anyway, like, it was like, it's just like, but they both going back to movies.
She's like, all kind of movies.
I'm talking about movies.
What's your favorite genre?
Outside of streaming, adult. That's another thing, though. Adult
But the same idea.
content is cracking.
Adult content.
The same idea.
They're posting them on news outlets. Bonnie
Everything
Blue and
is
that other
moving
they posting them.
to a stream. Like everything is moving that direction.
They're big. OnlyFans started this TV joint. Then OnlyFans people. One chick, she made what, 75 mil.
I mean, all these like
last
famous
year.
people. Yeah, I don't know. Like
started her own house.
Like
streaming.
Bella, she made like $1 million in one day. Like Bella or something like.
Yeah, but it's so.
It all goes to the same direction. The point is like creativity is going to a freelance streaming where you can access to it and then you can like create anything you want. You know, people don't even have cable anymore.
True.
No, they don't.
I do have cable, but you know.
Okay, then what are we?
I like to watch the news. What can I say?
The news is the worst that gets bumped out online.
Well, you
You
know,
got an eclectic palette of things you view.
Oh God,
Yeah, you were very well rounded
the
on your
news-
information.
okay.
I'm flabbergasted.
You know
by
why?
it.
Because okay, listen, news it's just as creative because you go to CNN is one style, you go to Fox. It like depends
That's
which
true.
channel you go. Is how they gonna
true.
tell you the
That's true,
news.
though. Yeah.
The same news it can be twisted in 10 ways. Why? Because they're selling you the news. So whoever sell it better, that's the channel that you're gonna watch.
That's deep.
And you're just gonna follow. Like you know, I watched like I watched from
That's why I
InfoWars
don't watch it
to
because
That's
like, you
exactly
know
why I
it's
don't
still-
fuck with the news.
You know that it's just being told from that person's
Exactly.
perspective. It's like, okay, you tell.
And
like,
what is
you
the
got
true
your own
story?
agenda.
I
They
need
got
somebody
their
on
own
TikTok
agenda.
to break it down for me. Other than that,
You know, and that's why I believe that all it goes that direction.
yeah, okay. Shifting gears here. Let's powwow about how y'all got started on y'all crafts, everything y'all do. Starting with you, Byron, like filmmaking. Did you know? Coming from where you from again?
I'm from LA. I grew up
LA.
in like Palmdale,
Palmdale.
the AV.
So I don't know that. Oh,
That's
what's
why you're
called?
still 10.
AV, Antelope Valley.
Yeah, I haven't
Princeton
been
High
out
School,
there.
we in here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Did you know filmmaking was going to be the path that you want to embark on?
Nah, man. I thought I was gonna play sports. I was pretty nice at basketball in my freshman year of high school. I mean, I've been this size since my freshman year of high school, so I thought I was gonna hit 6 something
Okay.
and didn't grow again.
Damn.
But fate intervened. I still was on the basketball path, but my very last high school basketball game, I separated my shoulder and never hooped again. So from there, I fell into the space of like creating. I was shooting. Man, this is back in like 05, 06. I was shooting. I want to say YouTube had just hit, but I was
That's
making
when
videos.
we was on that too.
Yeah, I was making videos on YouTube. We was doing sketches, all kind of just random stuff. I still got some of that stuff on YouTube and a channel I can't even get into no more.
Same. Yep.
But that's kind of how I fell into it. Then I fell into music. My brother was doing music. He built a studio at the crib. I was engineering, mixing, mastering, rapping, writing music, just getting into the creative. And then I used to work at Interscope for a little bit. I was trying to do the management route, figure out the music scene, and then just pivoted into I don't even know what inspired me to go from writing music to being like I want to write TV and film. And then just by happenstance, man, luckily I was talking to my mom and I was like, I think I want to go into writing. How do I get a agent or a manager or somebody to represent me? And then she plugged me with one of her friends who used to be was an attorney at the time, but used to work in TV. She was like, let me plug you with some black writers, call these 5 people, do whatever they ask, just try to learn the business.
Was she in entertainment too?
She was entertainment, like she used to work in entertainment, but at the time she was just an attorney. So she had some relationships, but she connected me to Vincent Brown, who was the first person who ever really gave me a shot. He was an executive producer on Casey Undercover at the time, a Disney show was it there.
Yep.
And he called me in and was like, it's funny because he called me in and was like, all right, I'm gonna show you the ropes, what's kind of going on, give you a feel. I sat in his office for like 30, 45 minutes and he came back and was like, I'm too busy today, man. Come back another time. I'm like, whatever, I'll come back another time. But he called me like 2 weeks later and was like, you want to be a PA? I didn't even know what a PA was. I'm like, yeah, man, this is my dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to be an AP, PA, SC, whatever the letters is. And they brought me in. They hired me to be a PA. And then on the very first day that I was there, I wore I was trying to be swagged out all the time. So I had like a little bow tie on. I was like trying to be fresh, look different. And we was in a table read my first day, and the showrunner was like, who are you? I'm like,
The PA.
I'm the new, I'm the PA.
Supposed to be all black.
Yeah, he like, is that a clip-on or like did you tie that yourself? I'm like,
That's hilarious.
clip-on.
Cooking.
Yeah.
But we built a rapport, and he was like, what do you want to do? I'm like, shit, I want to be a writer. So he was like, I'm gonna let you come in and audit the room. And before I worked my way up, writer's assistant, PA, writer's all the things you could do as an assistant, as a writer on like several shows, and then got into content.
What were some of the shows you were on?
Man, I was on Casey Undercover, a Disney show, 2 seasons. I was on Jim Carrey. He had a show on Showtime called Kidding, 2 seasons of that. I did Euphoria, season 1 was Zendaya again. I did Run the World on Stars. That was Yvette Lee Bowser, who was the creator of Living Single. You know what I'm saying? Anybody don't know about Living Single? They made Living Single, then Friends came out.
They just put
And
something out
Friends was
about
supposed
that.
to be the biggest show, but Living Single, you know, Yvette Lee Bowser was
Which
one
one
of
was
the great
better?
ones. I didn't watch Friends like that,
didn't
so
watch
Living
Friends
Single was better to me. So,
I didn't watch Friends.
I watched a couple Friends, but Living Single, you couldn't beat Queen Latifah at the time. She was on top. But yeah, so I was on those shows, and then shoot around like 2015, around the time y'all was doing y'all's thing.
same
I
time,
didn't really know y'all at the time, but once I started getting into content creating, people was talking about y'all like, you been in the sketch house? Like, the sketch house, we got to go to the sketch. I'm like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody was kind of just doing their thing at the time. But I remember I pulled up on y'all one time when I was shooting Underdogs, but Theo was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I came whatever spot y'all had at the time, because I was with Virgil, and Virgil was like, you know, Theo could probably shoot this. He'd be over at the sketch house. So we pulled up on Theo. And shit, that's really where I got cracking. Started shooting anything we could, web series, all that stuff.
What,
And then,
what was the transition where you were like, okay, I'm writing or a writing assistant on all these shows. Now I want to like write my own thing and like become a producer.
I was when I was on those shows, I was studying so much. Like I would come in early, I would go down to the set, I would shadow the directors, I would be with the accountants, I'm with the wardrobe. They used to clown me a little bit because they'd be like, you know, I have responsibilities to do, and they'd be like, well, Byron ain't going. Who's gonna make the store run? Well, Byron ain't gonna do it. He's doing his own thing. I'm like, damn right, I'm doing my own thing. I'm trying to figure this out. So I would be, you know, networking with everybody, but I was like, the best opportunity for me to be able to write is to show these people that I can make my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I started making my own stuff in the hopes of showing them that, you know, look at me, I'm capable. I could get bumped up. But it was this OG on the Sony lot. This dude, he was a janitor. Well, he was the head of janitorial by this time. He had
That's
been
right.
on the lot for like 40 years. He probably doing 6 figures just off the maintenance alone. But he was like, man, you got to be really careful about who you share your content with and ideas, because a lot of people are going to look at you like they don't want to promote you. And I'm like, that can't be true. I'm like, that's not. I'm like, I'm doing my thing. They're going to see I'm fly. Like, they're going to promote me. But he was absolutely right. The first time I ever showed anything that I created, which was on accident, that they got a whiff of what I was doing, they started treating me different in the
Like
room.
in
I
a
was
bad
in.
way?
Yeah, it was more so like it became a barrier there.
Why you think was that?
That's a great, why?
I think a couple reasons. One, when you get hired when you enter the system, you know, you get in the thing, they want you to do the thing you're supposed to do.
Okay.
They want you to be that thing, and that's it. And when they decide to let you up is when they decide. So if you try to move yourself up, it's like you out of pocket. So I think that had a little bit to do with it. I was on a lot of shows that didn't really have black people on it. Like I was on shows where it was like 3 black people, me, the cook, and then somebody in accounting. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I think that might have had a little bit to do with it. We always kind of face that barrier in this business. It's like, you know, so I think a combination of those things, you know, you should be focused on my show, you creating your own show. You know, I could kind of see that.
Like jealousy, tread. Maybe they feel tread a little bit.
A little bit. Also, I think there's a little bit of threat because our generation, when we start entering in the thing, you could be 100 years old and be a writer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You 25, 22, 23, you can enter that spot and they could not have a spot again.
Yep.
So, you know, there's competition in this business to a degree.
In all of the
And everything.
in all of
writing,
all of the
directing,
because one of our homies with Cam Up, you know, he was saying, you know, he barely can sometimes get situated because you got older. You can be old as hell still doing cam operation and still being a DP.
Oh, you
know what I'm saying?
Solid.
So like, they don't want you to be the new young gun and take their
you
position.
replace them.
Yeah, replace them.
But that's why I fell into creating it myself. I started going harder once I realized there's a ceiling here. I'm like, if I really want to do this, for one, I need practice. They're not gonna give me that much practice. I'm gonna create practice. So I'm sketching, I'm web series, I'm doing all these things. But then I started realizing, like, and me and you have this conversation sometimes. It's like, yo, B, I want you to direct my thing, but you like, I'm directing my thing. And then it's like, oh, well, who's gonna direct my situation? Then it's like, I guess I gotta learn how to direct too. So then I started learning how to direct. And then it's like, well, who's gonna figure out the logistics? Yo, come figure out my logistics. You like, I'm figuring out my own logistics. It's
Now
like,
you gotta figure out
oh
your
shit, I guess I gotta become a producer too. You know, it's
You're like, what is happening?
you know, we all, and it's good that we all building at the same time and learning and growing. We got to do more of collaborating
Yeah.
Exactly.
at certain points, but everybody had to go through whatever they had to go through to figure out. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. We
get it.
all had to like, we started learning how to write, then we had to learn how to produce and direct, and then now it's like, now you have all these skills, but you have to collaborate and you have to have team in order to like grow to the next level.
oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, as far as like, now that you are an independent creator, producer, like, what has that business been like for you?
It's been a journey, man. It's been up and down. I want to say it's been great. It's for sure been great because there's nothing like having the autonomy to create what you want as a creative, because that's what we all signed up to do.
Absolutely.
We want to create whatever it is, whack, dope, good, bad. It don't really matter. We want to make the thing we saw and at least try it. Hopefully it's good. If it's not, we'll make another thing. So that part has been great, but figuring out how to wiggle through the maze is super challenging when you're independent, because it's not that much mentorship going on to where you can glean advice from. And most of the time you can glean it from your peer, where it's like, okay, we kind of figuring this out. We kind of figured it out at the same time, but we still in the same spot. So that part's been challenging, but I honestly wouldn't really trade it, man. As much game as I've picked up in the last decade to now, I feel like I'm solid enough to create anything from an inception to delivery. You know, I can come up with an idea, or a friend can. We can take that idea, we can turn it into a product, whether that's a short film, a web series, a TV show, a podcast. We can turn it into a product, and we can take that product out ourselves, negotiate our own sponsorship deals. We can negotiate our own terms for people we hire. We can employ who we want. Now we give an opportunity. I can't even name the amount of people I've given their first job to that's now doing something in that field and grown so much, and then they double back and now they're better than when you started.
At least they double back.
Yeah, well,
You know, niggas don't double back like that out here.
that's tough. It's a low percentage. I think me and you was talking about how many people.
Come on.
I've
Your
hired.
system.
Yeah, I've hired so many people, but ain't nobody ever hired me. that
No
I've hired.
kickback.
We had to start somewhere.
Well, even look, I'm a type now, because I used to didn't give a fuck at all. Now I'm like, bro, you can at least give me a thank you, bro. Shout me out with a
Shoot
thank
me
you at least,
shoot me
yo.
a text.
I mean, even a quiet text, bro. I got somebody hit me with that the other day. I was like, yo, that means a lot. But then I be watching some other people sometimes how they move and how they operate. I'm like, my nigga, can you just, oh girl, what's up? Now you crack. You been in all these. What's up? Can I?
The longer you're in it, the more some of those things you start to care about. Because at first you was kind of like, oh, we doing it.
We doing it.
But soon as you hit a hard turn or something ain't really going that way, and then your people kind of rise, and it's like, what's up?
What's up?
I can't be your assistant.
Yeah, I can't.
You just hire me to be your assistant.
Man, what's up? Or bring me around. Like, let's help me network with what's up?
You know, that's your friend, right?
I'll help you. Me and CT was just talking about this last week a couple weeks ago when he was on the show. Same thing, because he helped put on some different comedians, and when I first met him,
He probably got a lineage of
my God, I owe a lot of stuff to him. You know what I mean? Because when we first met, that was one of the first things he told me, is being able to be a helping hand to others.
For sure.
And it's a big thing out here.
For sure.
So one of the first things I did to him, because I saw the moves he was making, how can I help?
Absolutely.
And he does not mind assisting or letting you come assist. Bentley is like that as well. Billy does not have to do that for a lot of people.
Billy's solid.
You know what I mean?
Billy's a secret gem.
A phenomenal gem.
You worked with Bentley too, huh?
I haven't worked for him, but I've been to the studio,
Yeah.
been around him, and been in his world of how he's
He'll
delivered
share his
opportunity.
word with
He
you.
will
He'll share his
share.
resources. He'll share his
He gives you
knowledge
some
and
quick
information.
game. Yeah.
Roxy, do you give back to individuals that are
Oh yeah, I don't forget. I don't forget the
a
people.
lot of women say that.
No, like like it's people that has been with me. Like I'm my makeup artist, Gina, I love you. She's been with me from day one since I started this journey.
She nice.
I know I just
Yeah.
got, and I'm very loyal to her. Like I feel like I like the people that was there when you first start, it's people that truly believe in you, and they don't expect you to give them any back, but your loyalty, you're grateful, being loyal to someone that it was there for you. I feel like that's a value that you can give back, like promote them, give value. Or like sometimes I will have people comment or like, oh, how can I do this? Or they were like, I will pay you, you help me. I'm like, no, I don't need pay. Like, I'll just tell you what to do, like how to do it, and then you just go from that, like I enjoy to help other people because I know how hard it is to come from zero, meaning like when you don't have connections, when you don't know anybody, and you have to start from scratch. I know it's hard, and like when you say like you want to give this opportunities because you never know.
Yeah. Did you start from scratch when you first got
Oh,
to
I started from scratch. Well, okay, so I've been all over the place.
Give me the short version,
I was just a short version. So okay, so I'm born and raised in Mexico. So the three things that I used to love as a kid, it was history, geography, and social studies. So I knew it. So I knew it. I wanted to travel because it's geography. I'm like, I want to go and see what happened in the planet 100 years ago or whatever. History, I knew I wanted to see how we build what we build. Like I wanted to know. So I always loved design. And, social studies, I always wanted to see how we evolve each time of our since we exist, how we evolve to the situation, the time that we live. So I was always into those things. So when I live in different countries, I did my college in Mexico, then I went to Stanford, did business there, and then I just started to travel. I was lucky that I had the ability to live in different countries, Europe, so America, like different places, and that gave me a lot of understanding about how different we are, but at the same time how we have so many things in common that we'll seek, like respect, love, just things, culture, we, even though we're different, we're very similar. So then life was perfect, blah blah, and then I had my first son, and around a year or two, he was diagnosed with autism, and I was completely lost. I was like, what is this? Like, what is happening? Like, what is even that word? Like, what does this mean? And at the same time, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and I was diagnosed with Lyme disease. So all happened quickly. So I had to forget me for a moment because I needed to take the daughter role, the mom role, and I needed to just step it out. I'm like, no time to feel bad for myself. Just focus. So I had to go on a journey with my son. It was a very, hard battle to do because it was the love of my life, my son. And then I lost my mom through cancer, and I was battling Lyme disease too. So when I finally come out the hardest part of my journey, when I start to feel healthy again, the one thing I remember, it was like, I let go of myself, like I lost my creativity, like who I am as the things that made me happy, I put them on the side because I just couldn't focus on me. And then I start to do modeling and all that because I always been like a very sexual person. So I'm like, I wanted to, feel me again, like feel normal again. That's how we end up with
a lot of dots connected.
I always feel comfortable with my skin, even though being Mexican, that causes me issues sometimes because society has still some rules about how you express
in
yourself.
Mexico, they don't let you be too
conservative.
Like I wouldn't dress this in Mexico. Like I would never wear this.
That's a
dress.
problem in Mexico.
Oh,
Spring break is in Mexico.
Well, I know, but
That's
in my
American.
family, like with the traditional families, I would never arrive. I mean, we got to cover until here, like know this.
Yeah.
So I started my journey to get back myself, to start to remember the things that I love. And then, so I went and did a master degree at UCLA for architecture because I always loved design. And it was my way to do something for me and still keep my brain and my creativity going when I was dealing with all the battles.
And during that time, you were also modeling too? Still?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I started to do modeling for me. Like I started to do photo shoots for me. And I started to I will go and buy like pieces of vintage or lingerie or whatever, and I will alter them and create all this concept, and it start to, my mind was just went, I was altering pieces, creating new colors, and it was so healthy for my
You found
mind.
it again.
I found myself again. Like I didn't win the battles, I lost my mom, but I'm okay, and then all this bring me to the next part, which it was like, how can I use this journey? It cannot mean nothing. It gotta be good for something. I'm like, I had to do something with this that means something for humanity. So I started to create all this, my brand, which is Love Roxy. And the reason why it's called Love Roxy is because, when you write a letter to somebody that you're thank you, at the end you put love in your name. So this is my way to say thank you. Thank you, universe. Thank you to all the people that was there for me. I will create something. I will take this pain and create something beautiful that will mean something. So all this journey, it will be not for nothing.
And Love Roxy is...
It's the brand. My name is Roxy Love, but Love Roxy is different. It's an ecosystem. It's different. It's not just one thing.
It's like the umbrella, and then it's a bunch of
it's like an ecosystem, So like I'm working and create my podcast. Which it will be, it will be like a free zone. But the idea is not just to talk about sex. The idea is to be normal about it. Like, what is sex? Like, what part of what role plays it in society? Like what would do? But like I want like the sex doctor, the guy that went and created the dildo, the guy, the business. I go to like sex shops a lot to study. Like, I know it sounds funny, but
no, don't
like
sound funny.
I go to study what is the new toys, why these ones are more popular than these ones. They have always books. So I try to learn terminology. I'm always studying, so that's one thing I always do. I'm always reading and studying. So it's like, like I want to, like I'm trying to bring this, just like sex is like eat or or breathe.
I wish it was.
It's not like a taboo thing.
I wish they thought
it's not like a secret.
Yeah, we make it weird. So when I was going through my journey, I started to feel me again. The one thing I was like, I want to do something good, which is I want to empower people to feel confident.
Yeah.
What is sexy for you? It might not be sexy for you, but as long as you feel confident, then you can achieve anything you want.
We're in a different day and age now.
That's a
Sex,
message, right?
everything is more sex positive now. We're just in that
and
day
I
and age
feel like,
now.
like as a human, you deal with life, and sometimes you forget who you are, your essence, and you let go your creativity because you're so busy trying to figure out the problems. But I always say, like, even if it's 10 minutes a day, everybody should do something or remember something that made them happy. Like, when you were a kid, what was the things that make you happy, that make you feel safe? Do that or remember those things for 10 minutes. For me, like, honestly, I know it sounds silly, but I watch, I love the ocean, so the ocean is always like a place where I feel very calm. But I watch Everybody Loves Raymond. Oh. And the reason why is, even though it's like I'm against the fact that they make look men bad, I don't like that part, but I like because the dynamic were like the very close family, like the mother, the dad, like they're all very close, and it remind me of my Latino family, they're Italians, Latina, like, and it just bring those sensations. Like when I lost my mom, I had to really learn how to navigate those things. And then the other thing is like everything that I'm doing is for one reason, which is I create a nonprofit farms for autistic kids where they can go and work with animals and plants because animals are very therapeutic. Nice. And I do believe that any answer for health issue, it's an earth.
Yeah.
All the answers are there.
There's a natural solution.
Yeah, it's a natural path for everything. Yeah. And I believe that if I can offer that to families with low resources or anybody that needed that is go to the autism journey. So that's kind of like, for me, I'm focused a lot on empowering people, but mainly women, because as a woman, I know how hard sometimes is to play so many roles. And then, and I try to, like, I love design. Like, I'm always go to, like, Westland, all these stores, and I buy pieces and I start to alter it and play with them. And, like, I'm
sex
always
toys?
like, no, Westland, like,
okay.
it's sort of like all these stores.
Right. You making new shit?
One of
You
the-
making combos?
Double
Like-
tape it out and put
Alright.
some juice on it. Like,
Yeah. Right.
but,
And she said something navigating. I want to make sure I kept that word in my head because Byron wanted to ask you what would you tell individuals coming up now in this generation, how to navigate, how to stay the course when it comes to cinema or anything involving the realm of filmmaking and content creating.
Man, I think it applies to a lot of things. What I think is that you've got to be so passionate about it. And it sounds cliche because a lot of people say it, but the truth of the matter is like, if you don't love it like that, it's not even worth doing it, because there's going to be so many difficult hurdles you're going to have to surpass, so many emotions that are going to have you overwhelmed. Something in life is going on for everybody.
Absolutely.
All the time. So you're going to have to deal with the normal hardships of life. Then you're going to have to deal with the hardships that come with being a creative, which when you think about it, 99% of creatives are supposed to be broke. So now you're up against a crazy system that doesn't really have income in your favor. So you're going to have to figure out, one, how to make some money. And it might not be doing the creative. You might have to figure out
OnlyFans.
something. Yes, something. You figure out some way to make some money so you can continue to have time freedom to build and pursue your dream, because it's going to be a journey. I think I was watching Ice Cube when he said like 10 years, plan to do it for 10 years.
I saw that too, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that was the real shit.
If you ain't willing to invest 10 years in it, then you might want to just stop.
Nah, you might want to just dip out. I was talking to my niece the other day who was like, I think I want to be an actress. I started laying out the road that I've seen most of my friends who act are on. And she was like, dang, all of that? Like, what is it?
It's a grind.
Yeah, all of a sudden
like
you
a
kind of
doctor
turned
career.
off to it. It's like, yeah, be turned off then, because if you don't get in it and you're not delusional about it, you're not crazy about it, like you got to be a little bit unrealistic to feel like you're going to be the 0.01% to make it. If you don't have that energy, you ain't going to be able to do it. So, but if you do, you find community in it. You find people you can relate to, people you can build with, people who you can find inspiration. I'm not a hater at all. So when I see somebody like next to me winning, I'm like, oh, cool. My turn's probably next. It's like, yeah, this is good. Or how can I help you keep winning? Like, what? Because if you keep winning and you my friend, then we should be winning together at some point. Like, how do we get this thing going? You know
I
what I'm
want to ask you
saying?
about the money talk too, since you mentioned money. Like, number one, like, how would you, for the audience or for anybody watching this aspiring to be a creator like you, like how would you tell them, like, how do you get money to make a film? How do you know what I'm saying? How do you make, and then how do you then make money from your films?
It's a long answer there.
That's the toughest part of the process.
To the money, Byron.
The short version of
What's
it
the path?
is, man, tap in with me. Shoot, I've actually started a company that helps creatives get funding. So I haven't rolled it out or launched it yet. I'm just working with a few independent people right now that's immediate to me that I want to see win. But I think there will be some opportunities for people to learn that, if you don't have people that can help you get there, the things that are always said is private investors. You could build a business in this and offer some services. You could get money somewhere else, be a real estate agent, be a this or that, do something else and save that money. A lot of people usually get money and spend it. If you got a real dream, you shouldn't be worried about being swagged out and I got to have the dopest car or this or that. You shouldn't spend money on dumb things. You should stack the bread up as high as you can and go continue to create. And then when it's time to monetize it, You got to look at the outlets that's already monetizing, YouTube, the socials. You know, you could call. The crazy thing is, it's streamers popping up every day.
Yep.
A lot of these people you could call, find on Instagram. You can email them. Hey, I seen your platform. It's companies like Byron Network out there. A lot of people don't know about. That's booming. The Fubu Network is out there. Like I just did a deal with In the Black Network. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all Black Oak. I don't know if y'all ever did a Black Oak, but yeah, y'all did a Black Oak. Like it's people that come out that give you opportunity at some point. That's like, let's get some money together. The caveat to that though is that a lot of times it's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
When you building with somebody, so you got to be okay once again with the journey. But if you need some bread, I can show you how to get some for sure.
How did you find it? Like, how did you find funding for your first like couple films?
For Swoon, we found private money. So basically, I called everybody in my phone, literally everybody in my phone, not a joke. And when I got down to like the last 10 people, which is funny, because you get to the 1%, their last call, and it was really one of my best friends, his little brother, who I kind of grew up with, my younger brother too, basically. And I wasn't even gonna call him because I'm like, what's this like? Where he gonna get some money from? But I'm like, hit him like, man, you know anybody who might be interested in investing in some movies? You know, I'm doing this. Let me know. It ain't gotta be a lot. He found all the money to my film. Yeah, he found all the money. He's in sales. He know a bunch of people. He gathered everybody up for the most part. Everybody put in a little bit of something, and we just kept it low. You know, we just kept the bread low, and we pulled every single favor that we could to make something dope. But it was also at a good time where I was my filmmaking had evolved to where we were good enough to finally make a movie that you can watch and it checks all the cinema boxes.
Yeah.
The color is dope.
Yeah.
The sound is dope. The cinematography is great. The lighting was great. The actors are dope. The directing is nice. The writing is good. Everything was good. So when you watch the film, you go, it's a solid film.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta put money into that.
Yeah, it's a solid
I can appreciate
Because
that.
there's a difference between want and will. Because everybody wants something, but I know
Absolutely.
everybody has the will to go through what it takes to do it. And that's why,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like a huge
You
difference.
gotta have that part. You gotta have the
Without
will.
it, you know, that's why it's only 1% entrepreneurs and like 99% followers. Why?
For sure.
Because everybody wants to go through that journey because it's unpredictable.
You gotta be crazy because even when we started doing Swoon, we didn't have the money and we were making a movie. And people were like, are we really making a movie? Like you holding auditions, we got rehearsals, like how, like what? So we're gonna make a movie, but you know, my success rate in the past, I guess everybody was like, I guess what you said, we're making a movie.
Yeah. I've seen him do other things.
I've seen some stuff like
He does everything he says he's gonna do.
I'm not gonna come not prepared with my lines then, talent. So it's like, but everybody made a contribution to that product for sure, and we put out a good piece of art for sure.
And then how did you find distribution for it?
Walking up to people, realizing who are the decision makers. Like we found, Brett was at ABFF, so I seen him there. He had a party. Brett is with All Black AMC, so he always does a party at ABFF, and he was in the party. I just walked up to him like, you know, is this still your number? Because I done sent you a couple of things.
You don't answer this shit. What's up?
I done sent a couple emails like,
Not mine.
I got another, you know, right? Busy man. You know what I'm saying? Busy man.
Yeah.
But when you catch people in real time, and you know, I just was like, yo, what's up with it? He was like, you got my information. I'm like, I think I got it. He was like, yeah, that's me. Send me what you got.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
And this time it went through. Yeah, he responded and was like, all right, cool. So, you know, Brett gave us a great deal. And then I got the panels at all the festivals we were in, because we got into some festivals. But you know, I met the owner of In the Black at a festival. I met a couple of independent sales agents at these festivals. And then even from there, I just been watching. You know, you got to study your medium too. You got to study the craft. Like you got to see what's going on. One of my homies get a deal. I got to figure out like, well, who was that? When Black Oak was popping, like everybody we knew kind of had a Black Oak deal. So that was, you know, that was kind of dope. We could share a little bit of information, like how much was your deal? What was the deliverables? You know, like how many episodes? How can we kind of work it? I just think
You
we need to-
will, but everybody don't be trying to share that info.
God, they don't.
But what
Wow, that's
a
crazy.
fact.
That's a black people. That's a
But,
black people
but,
thing
Crazy.
too.
You don't want to tell me, and I've been helping you
I have a
too.
question.
Ask the question, girl.
At what moment of your journey you got something happened that it gave you that juice and it was like you were like hopeless. You're like, I'm losing the hope. I don't know if I can continue this. And one moment of your journey, you were like, something happened that gave you that juice, and you're like, yeah, that's it. This
I
is
think a
what I
couple of
want.
things, right? Like I think it's the people you surround yourself with that uplift you sometimes. Because as a creative, we go through the most. You see people like Robin Williams commit suicide. It's like, how could a legend like that do something like that? But and Jim Carrey is kind of, a little bit.
All over.
Yeah, so it's like, the extreme emotions you go through as a creative, because one day you like, we got it, we made it, it's gonna pop. The next day you like, this shit is over.
Yeah.
I can't.
What am I doing?
Yeah, like what's the point of this? Like I could have made $1 million doing real estate already. Like what am I doing?
Yeah.
So it's like you got to have good people around you who you balance with.
Support
Because
system,
on this
good
day I'll be
support
like, I
system.
want to quit, and then it'll be your up day, and you like, no, do this.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. You find that energy, but I come from such, I don't want to say harsh circumstances, but I come from harsh circumstances as a youth and coming up through a lot of hard things. That is like, this is the only thing that I'm going to do.
But your mom was Claire Huxtable.
I wish. Yeah, but
You're a survivor.
yeah, so it's
What? It was Claire Huxtable.
that no, my mom was working at the law firm, and she'd been an assistant for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
In the same probably pay scale from 92 to now.
What your parents tell you, like when you say, like, Mom, I'm gonna do this, because usually parents like
They didn't. My mom didn't even understand what it was probably like.
I think most parents like that generation don't understand it because even
Nah.
like mine,
No one
like,
does. No one understands it unless you come for someone who's already
sure.
been in it.
yeah. It's like, yo, I'm about to move. I'm talking about, I'm about to move to LA, get into this film shit for real.
Yeah.
and you're like, what?
Huh? Like, how do you even sustain?
I ain't gonna pay your bills. So.
You know what I mean? What does that even
It's
look
hard to
like? People don't know what that
conceptualize.
looks like. You know what I
You
mean?
don't. Yeah.
We still don't know what it looks like. You just gotta
Nah, we
get
figuring
to
it out.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers
Figuring it
yet,
out.
but I will find them.
Brandon, did you have one? That was a good question. Do you have a moment too before we get ready to end it? Like that was like, what was the question?
You was ready to
Yeah,
quit.
you was
They
ready.
give you the
like, all right, I'm
juice. You're
gonna
like,
chill.
ready
We
to
gave
quit,
you
it can
juice.
juice you up. Like,
To get reinvigorated or re-energized for.
Brandon's pretty positive a lot.
Yeah.
I try to be too, which I am, but it be moments like.
Yeah. It's a practice. It's a practice. Like I'm always like big on meditation. I'm big on like, being consistent with your affirmations. I'm big on prayer and God. You feel me?
Them is the
Like,
real keys, though.
and so, like, of course, I'm just like anybody. I have my ups. I have my downs. I have my moments where I'm like,
Those things that will mitigate.
I don't just
some
go
of it.
do this because you know what I'm saying? I went to college. I can do corporate stuff. I'm smart. I can get a job.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? I can go do anything else. But I choose to do this because this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I love. And so, like, yeah, of course, like, especially them early years, like when we was first just kind of like, we moved to LA, we just trying to figure it out. And it's like, okay, is this really realistic?
Yeah.
Because
do
the
it.
math ain't mathing.
The math
it's
ain't
no
So,
snow here.
I would
What's
say
happening?
like back in those early years when we were first like doing the sketch house and then like trying to figure out like, okay, how do we take this to the next level? Because we have, we have bills, you know what I'm saying? All of that. And just like kind of leaning on, that's why Sketch House was used, because we kind of leaned on each other's faith. We kind of leaned on
Absolutely.
like we all,
that community.
the community of, like, this is what you said, like the community of having other people that are going through the same journey. And then like, okay, this person might win, this person might be down, but then we can continue to hold each other accountable to keep going to the next step.
It was pretty special, man. And I didn't see the Sketch House days. I wasn't around at that point. But the things that y'all founded, and I don't know, I'm assuming it was you two and maybe some other people, but the foundation that y'all laid to give this platform to everybody to come to a place to build some community, and some cameras is here and people is figuring it out, that shit is legendary. So I don't know if anybody's ever really gave y'all flowers, but that moment in time spawned, Yeah, and y'all know everybody who was there.
Everybody.
You see everybody who's
They're cracking.
up and killing, and you know
some
it's
stay, some
it's some
continue.
it's
Great
some
legacy.
millionaires.
It's a great legacy.
It's a
to
couple
come out of it.
millionaires that came out of that system and
Yeah.
that world at that time.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a great thing that y'all created, man. And because of those things, even me, I'm somewhat affected by what y'all created because y'all laid that foundation. And when I started hopping into it, a lot of the people I was working with came out of the system and the world that y'all was already in.
Yeah, everybody would cut the structure together now. We already know how to operate.
And it spawned like it was really like one studio that spawned all these independent studios.
Right.
Realistically, and now you look at the growth after a decade, basically, of some of these people.
Yeah, it's legacy.
You know,
They're cracking.
So from the people out there, like, you know, in the movies that you guys, since you guys know that, like, it's anybody that you guys like, that's my inspiration, or that's somebody that I respect when like similar journey than you guys, that is already out there. That is
I can say right now for sure what Ryan Coogler just did, that like lit a fire under me to be like, okay, this is what we've been talking about. This is what we've been talking about, what we want to see, the type of things that we want to create, the originality of it, the just like the vision and the clarity of his vision and how it's been portrayed.
How he stayed true and like he held on to
you
his
can do it.
with
You
the
don't have to
company.
follow the formula. You can be creative in your own way, and like, and it'll be dope. Like,
and you can do good business. At
right,
the
and you
same
can
time.
do good business because he killed the box office with something that's original.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Definitely.
right now, Coogler.
Good.
But like,
That's-
of course,
that's one
growing
good
up,
example.
we're like looking at Spike Lee and Fuqua and Spielberg.
Spielberg is still always my top guy.
And
Love
so,
me some
yeah.
Spielberg.
Good, too.
Legendary.
Love me just because of the different type of stuff that he creates, man. How he goes about it.
It was genius.
Yeah.
He come with some new stuff. Like, it wasn't.
What you know about Spielberg?
Oh,
She knows.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold
She
you
knows.
up. You know some shit,
No,
Roxy.
she knows some stuff. Hey, for sure.
Yeah,
I told you,
I'm
it's been
gonna
a
give
lot
it to
of
you.
time studying. Like, I
I'ma
study
give it
a
to
lot
you.
from
No, for
everything.
sure. I want to
Yeah.
watch like
I
some
like
old
to-
history movies with you and figure out what's going on.
Oh, like, listen, the Citizen Kane.
Yeah, like, yeah, you know some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in social studies, they,
Yeah, no,
they
you know
talk
some
about
shit, for
Citizen Kane and all these things, you know, like Charlie Chaplin. I mean, how you can be so entertainment and don't say one word, you know, like the mute cinema. I mean, how can you do that now? And people are so hyperactive that it might be hard.
nah.
But at the time,
Actually, no. They did.
it was
that one
entertainment.
TikTok
You
was
you
pretty
watch and you're
popular.
like, they never say anything, but it's like, oh, you're like, what is happening? Like the whole character,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Nice.
So what you got, KP? You got a game for us today, or just
That's it for me.
that's it? Okay.
That's it. That was a lot. That was great info.
Deep. We got deep. We got emotional. We got history.
Man, it was a
You know
ride.
what I'm saying?
It was a ride.
Roxy,
That
let
was
let
fun.
everybody know where they can find you and what you have coming up next.
My social media. Oh, not yet. Okay. You're like, wait, let me get the camera
Okay,
right to the
damn.
person.
This
Wait.
is your close-up
Right here, right here.
Bing, bing, bing.
Let's do the close up. The twins and me are ready.
Oh yeah, give us that too. Give us.
Get them. All right now.
You know what they like to see.
Yeah,
That's the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail right there. Ain't nothing changed. Back to the skit. Hey, that's the thumbnail.
I
know how this works.
Nice color. What color my nail? Okay, just let me know.
You good? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Roxy.
Okay. Well, my name is Roxy Love, and you can find me on Instagram. My social media is Body by Roxy, and I have a podcast coming. It's called Sexy Affairs. It will be ready by fall, so stay tuned. It's gonna be a lot of fun games there, like 69, Pandora Box. I mean, surprise, Blockbuster. Who knows? But yeah, Body by Roxy.
Body by Roxy.
You can
Yes,
find
make
me
sure
there,
y'all check her
IG,
out.
Insta. I don't think it's Insta. Yeah, I still say Instagram, but Insta.
Insta. Okay. Thumbs up. Insta.
Gen
Byron.
C will understand.
Let us know as well what you got coming
Yeah,
up.
man.
where
It's
you can find
Byron P Manuel on everything, all the socials, man. I got a ton of stuff coming up. I think my 2026 is gonna be filled with nothing but filming. So I want to shoot three to 5 movies next year. So we are currently in pre-production on those, figuring that out. I got a pod coming as well pretty soon. And then I got some mentorship programs coming out for y'all as well. You know, if you want to be a filmmaker, figure out how to get some funding, how to get your project made, and how to get it sold, then, you know, I'll have a one-stop shop for you.
Nice. And where can they find some of the projects you have out already?
Man, look up Swoon. It's streaming on a few things.
Yep. Typing in on the platform,
Yeah,
baby.
type it in on some stuff. You'll see Swoon, a couple other things that probably link you to that. But yeah, that's what's up.
Nice. B, anything you want to add?
I'm it. Follow me. I am B more everything. It'll be new stuff. Like he said, new stuff is dropping all the time. So just stay tapped in.
Stay tapped in. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been Movies and Models. We appreciate y'all. Please like, subscribe, DM Roxy to test her history and geography knowledge just to see what's happening. Go watch Swoon. It's on Tubi. Go watch Lovers and Friends, Airbnb, Suckers also out on Tubi for me and B. We appreciate y'all. Tap in. Thank you.